Alright guys, so welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be diving into how you can optimize the most out of your physique, the most out of your training, your eating, and your recovery. And so what a lot of people don't realize is that it takes a lot more than just training in the gym to be able to achieve a really good physique. Simplify it, you need to be sleeping enough every single night. If you're wondering how much enough is, I would say it really varies from person to person, but you should be aiming to get 8+ hours of sleep each night. And I'll start off by saying, even when I sleep in, I never get 10 hours of sleep. Like, I'm the type of person that can run perfectly fine off of 7 hours. But I understand that, like, when I do sleep in, I usually get a full 8 hours of sleep. And so if I'm not getting that every night, or if every night I'm getting 4 to 6 hours of sleep, I'm going to drastically be putting myself behind. Sleep is something that is essential to bodybuilding. Your recovery needs to be on point, because if you want to get the most out of your training, your muscles need to be fully recovered, and you just can't be fully recovered off of 4 to 6 hours of sleep. That's the truth. So it's simple. Go to bed on time, skinny person, or if you started on the skinnier side like me, you need to be eating consistently. The biggest thing is consistency. Even if your training is shit, even if you're not training at all, even if you sleep like shit, make sure you eat right. There's multiple ways to improve your physique, more to do than just the gym, so if you're eating properly, sleeping properly, and training properly, you will be looking your best you will be looking as good as you possibly can if you're training properly, if you're eating properly, and if you're sleeping properly. And so the biggest thing with eating is you need to prioritize 2 things. If you're on the skinnier side, you need to prioritize hitting your protein goal, and you need to prioritize hitting your calories for the day. And so I'm going to use myself as an example. I've been trying to get above 3,000 calories every day, because that is what it takes to just stay the same weight, is be around 3,000. But I am a very active person. I am physically active most days of the week, so my body really does need more calories because I'm always burning so much. And so think about it like this: the more calories you burn as a skinny person, the more calories you burn, the more you're gonna need to eat to make up for already having a faster metabolism. That's the truth, because having a fast metabolism, I feel like it means you don't put on weight as easily. And so putting on weight and putting on muscle are 2 completely different things. That's what I've learned after these past couple of years. I've been around the same weight for the past 3 years, but I've gotten stronger and I've gotten bigger, all while staying around the same weight. And that just has to do with how fast my metabolism is. Because if my metabolism was any slower, maybe I would be putting on more weight, and maybe I'd also have more body fat, right? So there's a lot of things that your metabolism affects. But if you're on the skinnier side, you need to realize that eating enough and eating maybe even a little bit more than you should is going to be what keeps you looking in shape and keeps you from looking so skinny. Because when I was in the 130, 140, 150s, I didn't really know about nutrition that well, and I didn't know how much I should have really been eating and what I should have been eating. And so that's why I stayed so skinny and small. You want to have your eating, you want to have your sleeping, and you want to have your training locked in. But if you don't have all 3, if for some reason you're not able to train as much as you'd like, then have the 2 out of 3 locked in. Sleep enough every night, sleep at a normal time, and eat in a surplus, if you're trying to gain weight, or eat right at maintenance if you're trying to stay at where you are but still put on muscle and size. Because as long as you're getting in enough protein in a day, if you don't know how much that is, I'll quickly go over it. You want to get 1 gram per pound in your body. I feel like if you're on the skinnier side, this is especially true. Some people say you need less protein, but I feel like if you're really lean, the more protein you have in your body, the more you can actually use to build muscle, because you're already so lean. So having a surplus of that, if you weigh 165 pounds, then you want to get maybe 175 grams of protein in a day, because then you're fully restoring everything. You're getting, having a high protein intake helps me put on a lot of muscle, and I was always on the skinnier side. So that's what I'd recommend for people that are on the skinnier side. Of course, if you're maybe in the middle, or if you're a little bit overweight, then that has to do more with eating less but still eating properly. But the main common theme between both of them is you just need to be eating healthy and a lot of healthy food. So a cheeseburger has protein in it, and a sirloin steak has protein in it. Now, which one is going to be healthier for you? It's not about just getting protein in, because the cheeseburger is processed, it's filled with oil, it's probably fake meat, fake protein. So you're better off choosing the healthier option. So you need to apply that type of mindset and that type of thinking to everything you go to eat in a day. You need to think, is there a better alternative that will still give me the same macros from it? Prioritize having a high protein intake. Prioritize hitting your calorie goal. So for me, like I've said before in my other videos, I eat a lot of white rice. I've eaten thousands of calories worth of white rice, and that has helped me put on so much weight, on top of eating all the proteins and meat and that stuff. So find healthy carb sources that's easy to load up on, easy to eat constantly. If you always have high amounts of carbs in your system, your muscles are going to feel more full, you're going to feel stronger, you're going to have more energy for your lifts. You know, eat lettuce, eat tomatoes, eat broccoli, eat healthy stuff, eat what you know is good for you. Don't be choosing fast food, processed food all the time. Go out of the way to learn how to cook for yourself, because when you make that change to your diet, it really locks in the rest of everything else. If I were to rank personally what the top 3 would be, it would have to be, your diet would have to go first, right? I put diet in first place because I feel like whether you're trying to gain or lose weight, nothing will be possible without food. Like, food is your fuel. So the fuel is the most important part of actually being able to be successful in bodybuilding and achieving the dream physique you want to have, is you need to have fuel. Because when you're lifting intensely, and maybe that's what I'll put in second place, would be the actual lifting. When you're lifting intensely, your body requires and it demands so much from you. So you need to have you need to be eating enough to rebuild everything, you know, because lifting is taxing and you will feel sore. But if you eat like shit, you're never going to recover properly. So diet would be in first place, training hard, training smart. Sleeping is one of those things where it's like, if you're irresponsible and you're not getting enough sleep, then your physique is going to suffer, and that's just the reality of it. But going to bed on time is a really simple thing to do if you really try to plan out your day and commit to when you're going to go to bed. Because again, maybe if you don't eat enough in a day, you'll still function, right? Because you have enough sleep and you can still train. Or if your training didn't go as well as you wanted to, you still slept well and you still ate. But if you just don't sleep at all, your diet, your appetite is going to feel all fucked up. And then on top of that, your training is going to be shit because you're going to have no energy. So the day before, you weren't able to recover properly, and the day of, you're not going to be able to train as well because you slept poorly. So it really is one of those things that it's like, lock in the 3 of those and you'll be 10 steps closer to unlocking your dream physique.